Gang. This your boy Hyphen Jersey. You are now tuned in to Hyphen Eagles. First, before I come, I start. You already know I like to start. Appreciation ain't nothing better than appreciating everybody that been watching, following, subscribing, all the good stuff, man. You already know I always like to give things much appreciated. Getting all the good out the way first. If you're coming from any platform, you want to hit me up, communicate anything, all that good stuff, man, please follow my Twitter. That's my Twitter right there. You can follow me if you got any questions, anything you want to talk about, if you want me to link up on the pod and you want me to support you, whatever it is, that's how you could communicate with me right there on my Twitter. Please don't hesitate to follow and hit me up. You can communicate, talk to me in that form through Twitter. And if you want to comment and while we doing our videos, me and my boys doing our videos together or whatever, please follow the YouTube channel right there. Like I could be able to respond, see what you how you feel about whatever we talking about, whatever. I can see right then and there, and I can respond to you. If you got anything you will agree or disagree, or you just want to put your 2 cents in, no matter if you're an Eagles fan or you just an NFL watcher, no matter what. If you want to communicate while we doing the videos as right now or future in the future, please follow the YouTube channel. We are much appreciated, all that. And please like and subscribe. Do not hesitate. But now, after I got that off the way out of that good stuff, I'm gonna get right into it. What I want on my topic, man. Since the draft, the draft seemed like it was a pretty good draft that happened. I know I'm a little bit a couple of days. I was just looking at a lot of the players' highlights, trying to make sure I get my facts right on the different players that we had picked up. So tomorrow, please around by like 9, 10 o'clock, no later than 9, 10. I'm gonna do another video based on all each and every player that we picked up from all the tapes that I've been watching, or how I feel about how they are, what do I feel about them, and much more. Speaking on more stuff. We also let go of Boston Scott, stuff like more other stuff that are happening. But this right here, I'm just gonna strictly stick on the on the topics that I've been hearing a lot since the draft, and that's we picked up Quinyon Mitchell, and I like to pick at first we picked them up. I also like, you watching my other videos, you watch my other pod that I did. I was big on Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean. I'm like, I like this guy. I like Cooper DeJean. I like what I saw in him. It was other guys that I didn't see. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even hear nothing about Keon Mitchell. Because I told you it was a lot of other guys that I knew I was missing out. But I mentioned a lot of other guys too. But so when we picked up Quinyon Mitchell, I'm like I ain't know nothing about this cat. I'm like, yo, I wanted Cooper DeJean because I know about him. I know what he had did, and I saw the tape on him. I like what I seen in him, how he locked down. He just versatile, he just a very good DB, So when we got Quinyon Mitchell, I'm like, oh dang. But then when we pick up Cooper DeJean afterwards, I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm good. I'm good. We got him. But let me see about this other cat. Let me see what was he about. So and I look and I saw the highlights tape and all that. And I'm confident, yo. He's pretty. He looked pretty solid and he looked pretty good. I'm liking what I see in him. He's looked like he got good defensive IQ. That was my big thing on his defense, especially on last year. I felt like we lacked heavy on the defense side of defensive IQ. Like plays without a scene, they just couldn't pick up on what the quarterback was trying to do or the offense was trying to do. And it seemed like I know it's different stepping into the NFL, but at least he got an idea of having a defensive IQ of knowing to read offense and knowing how to read. And I like that when I see him. Look like he's very a good tackle in space. He could tackle very well. He understand, getting the interception, jumping routes when he need to, and just staying on his man when he need to too. That's another key thing. And yeah, I just I like what I see in him. So I'm good. I have high hopes in him, and I welcome him to the Philadelphia. And I just wish that he could bring more into our team. And I wish him well, man. I can't. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do from the preseason all the way into the regular season, and make and hopefully into the playoff, into the Super Bowl. No, hopefully. But yeah, I wish him well on our team, and I'm wishing many more that he'd do. But since then, since that we picked him up, and since that we grabbed him, I seen a lot of comparison. I see a lot of people, not really so much happy. They probably be content, but not so much happy. Some people is probably a little bit unsatisfied with it, just because they was hoping and they were just looking forward to picking up Terrion Arnold, like, which is a very good DB too. He's very solid. I like the aggressive that he got, and I like he could lock down a lot of receivers, and he looked like he got a pretty good of IQ. Um, I like that he know how to stick with his receivers. Like a lot of the tapes and a lot of the highlights that I saw, he had no problem sticking with his receivers. Like, and that's another thing, that issue that we have since last season is corners and defensive players know how to stick with their receivers. They getting lost, or they getting burnt, they getting toast, they getting scorched, all those good words, like, well, not good words, all those bad words, and all that, like, and he looked like he's very well of knowing how to stick with his receivers, and that's a good thing. The difference between those two, I hear a lot of comparisons. They both, like I'm saying, you couldn't go wrong with either or. Like, that's how I feel. They both are very good defenders, like, but the difference for me between those two is I feel like Quinyon Mitchell is very well in coverage, defensive plays like zone, man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, just those type of space coverage. Like, I feel like he's not saying that he can't play man-to-man, not because I didn't know, watching tapes and looking at highlights is don't do it well of know people that actually watch him from college, like every game from the end to the beginning. So I don't fully know if he could do well or not do well in man and man. But based on the tapes, this is kind of my idea of what I'm seeing from these guys. And it seemed like he looked very well. Quinyon Mitchell looked very well in coverage plays, and Terrion Arnold looked very well in man and man. Which we need both in aspect, because sometimes who knows, please, I hope I'm saying his name right. Vic Figio, for our defensive coordinator. Hopefully, I don't know how he's going to scheme up, if he's going to be coming from coverage and then going from man to man, or man coverage, or whatever, how he's doing. I don't know how he's going mix it up, or what he's going to, if he's going to just stick on one, because when we had who we had on our defensive coordinator the time, that Jim Schwartz. Everybody know him when we had Schwartz, that he was just a man to man guy. Like, that's all he did. Man to man, man to man, man to man, man to man. That was all these defensive play that he knew. It works. It works for us a lot, but sometimes it didn't. But um, we it's just based on what he dialed up for this defense. Um, but they, to me, based on what I'm saying, Mitchell very well in coverage, and I saw a lot of men and look like he could. Arnold looked like he could play man and man very well, because he looked like he stick with his receivers, and Mitchell just looked like he know how to read, and when he needs to pick up on a play receiver, he picks up on it, and he get either an interception, or he interrupt the play, like, so that's very good in both aspects. So, it's just about what our defensive coordinator dial in for him. Like, they both could do very well. even if Terrion Arnold was a better defender than Mitchell in college, like coming out. We already know how sometimes some players would do some players get picked because they are doing better in college than another player, but then when they get in the NFL, that player that was didn't seem as well better than the player that was in college, if that makes sense, do better in the NFL. Like, you got some players that you wouldn't think that coming out of college would be better than a person that's a first round pick or whatever, and they be better. Like, Terrion Arnold might look better for coming out, but who knows? Mitchell probably fit better for the Eagles. Like, it's sometimes it happens like that. It's just based on what the defensive coordinator gonna do. If he know how to develop, do he know how to mature these young cats that's coming in as rookie and make them understand what it is in the NFL. Like, because it is a total ball game. It's a different ball game when you stepping into professionalism. Is everyone you're playing people that's made it to the NFL just like you, that skillful, and they are been there in experience. And it's a different ball game. You come into college, you playing when you're in college, you're playing a lot of guys that might not make it because they ain't all that well or they not good, and it's a little bit more easier. Like, yes, guys are playing more hungry in the college, but some is more guys that in college that just don't have that winner skill set, and that just not it. Then you playing guys that's in the NFL, that the reason why they in the NFL is because they are skillful. Like, well, supposed to be. Some guys get in the NFL, they shouldn't be, like, but they get drafted. It happens, but overall percentage, everybody you expect that's in the NFL have a level of maturity, experience, and they are grown men. They've been they are grown men. You coming in your early 20s versus guys that's like 32, 34 years old that's built like that. So it's a different ball game, and like, so who knows how these guys would be able to develop and take that. So to me, I don't see nothing wrong with either or. Like, I know a lot of people, oh man, oh, we should have got Arnold, we should have got Arnold. Like, I'd rather us get Arnold, in which I get it, because you see the certain things that you're probably seeing in Arnold that you don't see in Mitchell. But you got some people, it goes vice versa. Some people see things in Mitchell that don't see in Arnold. So it's just about just what our defense is going to do with him. Like, I hope Vic Fangio could dial up something for him to get him the experience and get him the defensive IQ. I hope he's able to develop him in the NFL. And if he able to do that, I feel like he would do very well for our team. So, and if Arnold would have came in, the same thing, he would have did very well. Both of them, I don't see either or being better. I think they are good in their own aspect. I feel like they are good in their own way. It's just about what you're trying to do with them. Like, and yeah, so that's just the thing that I want to speak on. I see a lot of debates and a lot of comments about between the two and how people feel between Mitchell and Arnold. And I'm like, yo, man, like, we both of them good guys. Like, how can you be? It's not like we picked up a bus. It's not that we picked up somebody that's is bad and not is no, like, they both are very well, is very good. Like, Mitchell was basically the number one DB pick in the draft. Far as I heard, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, far as I heard, he was the top DB to be picked in the draft. Like, I'm not saying that mean anything, but I'm just saying though, that means a lot though. That means he had a very good skill set. Something is very good with him. So, man, as long as we pick somebody that is very good, that is a good DP, is I can't complain I don't have. I'm very grateful. I like what Javi did. I like the pick that he did. Like I said, well, tomorrow I'm gonna speak on more on some of the picks that I just feel like, dude, that I felt we should have went that route. Maybe it's understandable because of the depth and the rotation and what we need to maintain because of people leaving and some people getting traded to other teams and everything. But um no, I got mixed feelings though. So tomorrow, please stay tuned. In the morning, I'm gonna do another one speaking on more after I get make sure I have my facts right. So we'll do all these players from college that we picked up. But yeah, I just want to speak on this Quinyon Mitchell in this Terrion Arnold debate and this situation of people, you know, just being displeased and unsatisfied and not really liking the the choice of picking Mitchell over Arnold. And I just feel like, it's a give and take situation. Like, both of them to me is good in their own way. Like based on when I saw the tape, when I looked at the highlights and they highlights, I saw both good, phenomenal DBs, and I saw that they are just good in their own way. Maybe that's what people are seeing. Maybe that's what people are comparing. Maybe people was liking the skill set they are seeing better in Arnold than they are seeing in Mitchell. But because maybe they relate and they like that more better. But I'm seeing a very well good set in Mitchell also. Like, I don't see, you know, the difference of them being better than each other. I just see that they both is good in their own way. So but yeah, y'all, I just wanted to speak on that aspect. But I would say this though. I would say this before I leave and get off. I would say um the wide receiver positions that we are picked up. We picked up two wide receivers. I believe it was two. I had mixed feelings on that, and maybe because of the rotation. Like when I talked about this on my last video, when it came to Olamide Zaccheaus, I don't know what team he went to. I don't know if he even went to a team. I don't know if he's still a free agent. I didn't hear so much about him, but I just felt like I wanted to see him another year with us. I just felt Olamide Zaccheaus that kind of made me feel a little bit type of way. It just made me feel like, yo, we just picking up good people and just letting them go after 1 year. Like, you know, um, we had a hard time trying to figure out this wide receiver three position, for a minute. We was hoping Quez Watkins would be the guy, but we gave him a chance for like 2 years, 2 seasons, and he didn't. Watkins had a lot of good with. And if you watch a lot of my videos, my old videos that I did, I had Quez Watkins back to the fullest. I when people were like, oh man, get this bus, get him off the team. No, don't bring him back on the team. Nah, nah, nah. And I'm like, nah, man, listen, this year we went to the Super Bowl crash when we played the Chiefs. That season, like Chris Watkins, yes, he dropped some passes. Don't get me wrong, he left some things on the field, but he came in a clutch for us a lot of times. Like he did it. I saw some things he did a lot for us. Like but I understand people frustration because I did wanted to see more. I wanted to see more in Quez Watkins. It wasn't enough. It was only enough for me to give him a chance for another year, but it wasn't enough for me to be satisfied for him to stay. So I'm like, listen, he deserved another chance, and that's what we gave him. But I didn't see nothing more in him that I saw with Lamide Kids. Now, I would give him a slight benefit of doubt, and only because of we had a rough offense year because our offensive coordinator. And we already know the horrific job Brian Johnson did for us. And that couldn't been, he already a wide receiver three. We don't look and he don't get his name called as that much as being a wide receiver three. Wide receiver three, is not a guy, it's not a go-to guy that you always want to pass the ball to, but he's that guy that, spread the field and help the main receivers, which is AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, to either be open or get their routes even more better, and also, he's a guy that's there when defenses are picking up on your main receivers and they are double teaming your main receivers. Now, since they are double teaming your main receivers, you can rely on your wide receiver three guy to be open because it's not enough defenders to defend everybody when they are double teaming or focusing on your two main guys. So when that happens, you like, okay, wide receiver three, Quez Watkins, or whoever, this is your time to shine because they are picking up on our main receivers, and we can rely on you and our tight end to make plays. But we saw that in the previous year when we saw a lot of that in the previous, a good enough of that in the previous year when we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But this last season, we didn't see so much of that. And can I say it's because it's his fault? Or can I say it's because Brian Johnson didn't dial up enough of scheme for that? Like, example, Brian Johnson knowing that these defenses picking up and they are being predictable, like they are reading our plays for our main receivers, who is AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Are you going to switch it up and dial in some plays for your wide receiver three? Are you going to switch it up and dial in some plays and some schemes to get your wide receiver three guy open so we could move the chain and pick up some yardage, like some positive yardage? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to continue to keep forcing until AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and keep passing and keep passing? And you already know that he wasn't trying to run the ball and open up plays. So a lot of that can disrupt a lot of the offense when it comes in the passing game. It's because when you're not running things, is running the ball, things is not getting opening up, and you're not dialing in the right type of plays. Your plays is very predictable. That's not easy for anybody to maintain. So, um, I just feel like I can't give Quay Watkins. I know a lot of people when I saw a podcast that Gilly the Kid was talking about he was getting on Quez Watkins because he didn't have no enough yardage and catches. And I understand his frustration, but I do have to give him a benefit of the doubt. Is because of we didn't have uh we didn't have an offense that year with an offensive coordinator. Everybody was out of sync because the plays was very predictable. And so I can't really get on him so much. But I do feel people frustration. And I know that, people probably feel like we could have run the Super Bowl that year he played the Chiefs. If he would have caught, the pass, I believe that was him. I think it was a pass that he should caught in the Super Bowl and he missed. And I do understand that. But man, like, all I'm just saying, if you could feel that way, I understand people's feelings about Quay Watkins because of the coordinator of Brian Johnson. But I understand people's frustration on that. But what was the problem with Olamide Zaccheaus? What was the problem with OZ? Like, I get it. Okay, you had enough with Quez Watkins for any reason. Okay, cool. But what was the issue with OZ? Like, we why I'm not hearing things from why he had why he's not still on the team. Like, why we couldn't continue to give him uh another chance to be like we looking for somebody. I just don't understand. You are searching for somebody to solidify that position of wide receiver three for the longest, but you don't to solidify somebody that when you finally get somebody for that position, you don't keep them. I don't get it. What are we doing here? Are we trying to build and make and get build the team for the better, or are we just trying to stand still? Because that's what I feel like we are doing. I understand that, the cap and the money wise, but like, I don't think that you had to offer him that much for him to stay with us or OZ. Like, I don't think you could have off like we are signing multiple players for one deal, wide receivers and running backs for one deal. We are signing all I'm saying on my Instagram page is signing this player for 1 year, signing this player for 1 year, 1 million deal, 1 million, signing this player back to back, back. We doing this, but we couldn't give OZs a good amount of money. I don't think we had to spend that much on him. We could have given him a good amount of money to keep him to solidify that wide receiver three position. We couldn't do that. Like, you've been searching for so long, you've been looking for somebody to get that position right, and then we find somebody to get the position right, we don't keep them. Like, it doesn't make any sense that like I always say, how we trust, and and I still feel that way. I'm to be honest. Overall, I love how we do, and I'm still grateful, and I love like he's been on the road for the longest, but doesn't mean that he does not make a little bit of hiccups that makes me wonder. It does not mean like he does not make bad decisions that I feel like he made. Overall, he's doing good, but overall doesn't mean it's just a higher percentage. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have bad decisions with it, you know. And I just feel like I just don't like that. I don't agree for me to allow him to walk. We finally got somebody that looked like they could do well in that position. He did a good job last season for us as wide receiver three. Man, he went up. He knew how to track the ball down. He did things that we was wanting Chris Watkins to do. Like, when did he cost us a game? When his name needed to be called, he did it. He caught ball. Boy, man, that game with the Bills, that game with the Bills did not answer the calling for us. That game with the Bills was not enough for you to see that. Oh yeah, this the guy. This guy, this guy went up over two defenders in the end zone and caught the ball and held on to him and came down for a touchdown. He did some junk that Smitty do, which is our main guy. He did something that AJ Brown do, who our main guy. So you telling me for OZ to go up and pinpoint the ball that way? Well, and that's not the only time he went up and he came in the clutch for us. He know how to track the ball down well. He know how to catch the ball in traffic. He know how to do the route and get open. He answered the call. Why did not keep him from wide receiver three? Why not? We've been looking for somebody to solidify that spot. We got somebody that did good for us last season for that spot, but then we don't keep him. Like, it just not this those little things that we do in our office that makes me wonder what is we doing. Like, but cool. Like, I don't like I said, I gotta just trust what he do. How we overall do a good job. But it's just some things that be like, oh man, why? So we picked up some wide receivers. Hopefully he knows what he's doing with these wide receivers we picked up. Um, who gonna solidify? Now we back on square one. Who gonna be that wide receiver three for us? Now these guys could do good, or these guys could do bad. These guys could be even worse than Quez Watkins. Like, who knows? Now we back as we wondering when we had OZ, when we knew for sure what we had in this guy. When we had Olamide Kids, we knew for sure what we had in this guy. Now we back in square one, wondering who going to solidify this spot on wide receiver three, because we need a wide receiver three. They help. They come in the clutch. They take the weight off of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. That's their position. That's what they do. Could be in the slot or whatever. But now we gotta figure out who gonna be that guy again. Like, and I just don't understand when we already had the person. It's other teams that have three good wide receivers. It's not like what is they afraid? Like, what, we can't have good three top receivers on our team? We the only Eagles, the only team that can't have three top receivers on their team. We only can have two, and then maybe we'll see who the third one is. That's we gotta continue to play that route. Like, I just don't get it, and I don't understand. Like, I could see if we was we let him go because of money, and we want to spend our more time on the defense side, and we already got somebody on our roster that we could trust that could take in that spot. 'Cause I don't know if Greg Ward is still in the practice squad. I know he was last season, and I like the Greg Ward. I saw what he did in preseason last preseason. I'm like, yo, Greg Ward. I didn't even know he was still on our team last season. I'm like, yo, Greg Ward was still on our team. Like, why is we not giving this guy a chance? This guy came in the clutch a lot of times, especially when we had Carson Wentz. This guy's a good receiver, Greg Ward. Like, I might even know he was still on the team. Like, now I gotta look at the roster and see if he's still on our practice squad. If he's still on the roster, I don't know. But man, listen, since we let Oz, if he still is on our roster, please let me know. Like, if he's like doing the comments and let me know if he's still on our roster. But if we still got Greg Ward and if he's still on our roster and we let Oz walk, man, at least give this guy a chance now. Like, because I mean, he's experienced. He's a good receiver for me. Like, you know, yo, like, why not? But yeah, like, I'm saying, like, when we were like, even with that aspect, like, we would have had three good receivers. Now we got a if two and an if. Like, why can't we not? Why? That would have been good. Like, but like I said, I can understand we let them go. We want to spend time on the defense. No, we want to pick up nothing but defensive player to get this defense right and cool. But we let him go, and then we picked up two wide receivers. We still picked up two wide. We wasted, like, we didn't need. If we would have just kept Oz, we would have been good on a offense. Only, like I said, we didn't really need to pick play. Our offense was good. It wasn't our offense fault last season. It was the defense offensive coordinator. We was a predictable offense, like, predictable. That's what made our offense struggle, because our plays was predictable. We didn't have no soul in our plays, and not because of the players, it's because our plays. Only position that I could have understood, and I still understand that we did pick up a guy, and I'm gonna speak more about it, is a pass protection. I understand of picking up a tackle or whatever. Like, I understand of getting this old line back to what we need to be. Like, don't get me wrong. Last season we were still pretty good, but we took a step back. Like I keep saying, from the previous season when we went to the Super Bowl. That season when we went to the Super Bowl, our offensive line was top tier. We was the best number one offensive line. That's what made us do very well in our running game and everything. But last season, it just seemed like it didn't feel like we was number one. Now, we wasn't bad. We was still probably top three, I would say, in our offensive line. But coming from number one and going to like maybe three or two, that's taking a step back. And taking a step back is never a good thing, because if you taking a step back and you don't do nothing about it, you intentionally could take more steps back. And next thing you know, when we was number one, we almost last place in pass protection. So I do understand of getting more pass protection, going out getting a pass protection, getting a tackle or whatever. I do understand that getting a guard, getting a center, like I do understand that is because of, especially with Kelsey's going, and we when every time Lane Johnson go out, sometimes we get exposed in our pass protection. So yes, get less. I do. That's the only position that I will understand that we would have went out and spent money on to go get. Only position on our offense. Everything else, I don't understand. Only that line, I understand. After that, man, focus on his defense, man. I was like, our defense was so bad that we got no choice but to focus on. As I'm gonna say this before I get off, and I say this on my other pads. As an Eagles fan, I've been an Eagles fan since a kid, man, for years. I didn't understand it until I got a little older, but I was an Eagles fan for years since I was a kid. I started watching and knowing it a little bit more better in the McNabb area when we had T.O. McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Brian Dawkins, Todd Piskin, we had all Lito Shepard, all the good guys that Javon Kurtz, all the good guys, Pro Bowlers that T. Thomas of the protection. Like I could keep going on and on of who we had those years. Just every position was pro bowling. Yeah, that was the glory year to me. I never we had so many pro bowlers in that time that I could never understand why we couldn't get a Super Bowl ring. And this was because personal issues, not being disciplined, immaturity in the players that just, it was the reason. I never felt like it was Andy Reid's fault, the reason why we couldn't get a ring, even though we let him go. And when I was upset why we let this guy go, I'm like, yo, it's like Andy Reid, we let Andy Reid go? Why? Like, it wasn't his fault. I understand people like, oh, because we wasn't getting nowhere with him. Like, but it wasn't him. Like, was the only person to see that it wasn't Andy Reid's fault? The reason why we couldn't get a ring, we had so many players. Yeah, I understand. Like, we had so many Pro Bowl players. A lot of people like, yo, to have that many Pro Bowl players, how can you not get a ring? But like, these players was just not being focused. Come on, man. Anytime you could go to a Super Bowl hangover and you throwing up in a huddle, then you could tell these players that having these personal issues. Terrell Owens having attitude issues and all these other situations. Like, come on, anytime that happens, you can know it's more than what it is. Like these guys was having personal issues. Besides, only people that I would say that was locked in, that I knew that was locked in 100% on that field was Brian Dawkins and Brian Westbrook. Two guys to me. Todd Pickens, he was pretty locked in. Lito Shepard was pretty locked in. Javon Kurtz was pretty locked in probably. But like, it was just a lot of miscommunication, chemistry, a lot of stuff in the locker room, all that stuff that could hinder being as a team. Because you could have good players on a team, but they don't play as a team. That's could be able to stop you from winning a championship. Like, and so my point is, I don't want to keep going on. I just made that to let you know, yo, man, I could understand how we couldn't take it all the way with those meters Pro Bowlers we had in that era. But my point that I'm just trying to say is that for me being an Eagles fan for so many years, all those years until now, I never saw our defense as worse it was until last season. Last season, I'm looking at our defense like, wow, why is we this bad? I never saw our defense as an Eagles fan for so many years. I never saw our defense. Maybe you could, maybe if you did, maybe I missed some games or some seasons. I missed not some games. I missed some seasons ago, like back in the days, maybe I ain't watched a season back in the days and I missed it, and maybe we was even worse than what we was now. Maybe so. I don't know. No, let me know if I'm wrong. But far as my knowledge of being an Eagles fan for so many years, I never seen our defense as bad as it was. We had some bad defense. Don't get me wrong. I saw we having some bad defense. And I'm like, yo, man, our defense need to be better. But our defense was, oh my God, it just looked like defense looked like we just went to the hood and was like, "Yo, you want to play? You want to play football? Yo, you want to play football? Yeah, let's go. Let's come on. You in? You look like we just went to like people that's playing street ball. Straight playing street football when you got the park cars. Everybody that's from that type of era, I don't know if you're not. That's what it is. Like, I'm from the era when we go outside and we playing football in the streets, and you got park cars, and we gotta every time a car coming down, you gotta move to the side, wait till the car move. When the touchdown, when we gotta create the touchdown, like, yo, man, touchdown is that red van right there, and then the other touchdown is that tree down there. Like, that's street ball when we got to do it like that. Like, and this just looked like we went to the to the hood or whatever and be like, yo, we saw some guys playing street ball and be like, yo, you want to play corner? You want to play linebackers for us? You want to play safety for us? Come on, man, let's go. Like, you could, like, it looked like we that's how bad our defense looked. Like, it was just guys out there just looking like they didn't know what was going on, didn't know how to tackle, didn't know how to read offense. Defense IQ is everywhere. Like, come on, like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't everybody. The defensive lineman is excluded. They was good. There was only so much they could do. Only so much they could do. You had some guys, Slave. He wasn't all that, but he wasn't bad either. I'm still looking for more in this guy, especially as a leader. Like, his stats looks pretty good, but from what we see, it looks like he could do more, especially as a leader. But you know, Reed Blankenship, he he need to step up his defensive IQ. He's not a bad safety. He's not bad, but he got some stuff that he needs to learn too. Because there's some stuff that he did wrong that I'm like, come on, Reed. Like, what is you doing? And cost us too. Like, Sidney Brown, it wasn't that bad. He was pretty okay. His first season, like, he needs more developed. I didn't see bad. We got some guys that came in. I believe some people like Ringo and the other cats, like, but um, it's just selected at that time that was okay. But that's it. That's only people that would give a slide. Everybody else just they need to pick up, man. Don't get me started on Bradbury. You don't need to start on him. That's just I'll be wasting my time speaking on Bradbury. We already know about him. But, like, man, like, we need to focus on this defense. But, man, the draft is over. We got what we got. So hopefully the receivers that we picked up, they would be very good in our rotation, and they will show some. So we hopefully we'll pick somebody up for this wide receiver three. Like, uh hopefully between these wide receivers we picked up, they will show us something. Like, because, man, like, I wish we would have kept OZ, man. He did well for that wide receiver three. And I don't know why we let him walk, and it just put us back to square one. So, but be back to square one. Be back to trying to see who's going to solidify it, and hopefully we'll find somebody. Hopefully this following season, that whoever will play that position, they'll be better than OZ. We always want best. So even though I wish we would have kept OZ, but since we didn't, now I gotta wish somebody would be better than him. Just because you always want the best, like, so hopefully the person that step in would do way even more better than what he did. But I wish OZ better. I forgot. I did hear that what team he went. I think so. But whatever he's at or whatever team, if he is, I didn't hear so much. I wish him well, and I thank him for what he tried to do for us on our team. And man, yeah, that's it said and done. But yeah, overall, I like the draft. I like what we picked. And between this Mitchell and this Arnold debate, man, listen, we both of them's two good DBs, and they are just good in their own way. And I'm grateful and I'm happy who we chose. Like it could have just whoever we got, to me, I would have been happy with. They both are good in a way. If we would have picked Arnold, I would have been like, oh, okay, we got Terrion Arnold. Like, he's a very good. I would have been happy with that, you know. Or if we got Mitchell, I'm happy with that too. They both good in a different way. I don't see the comparison. I mean, I do see the comparison, like, because I see what maybe people looking at. Like I said, I would say it again. In it, it looked like Mitchell is very good in coverage, and it looked like Arnold is very good in man and man. Like he looked like he stick with his receivers very well. Arnold looked like he know how to stay. He don't get torched. He don't get burned. He know how to stay with his receivers very well. Not saying that Mitchell don't know how to do, but based on the tapes and the highlights that I saw, I just saw more coverage plays with Mitchell that he did very well with. Then I saw like him sticking like man to man sticking with his receivers. But like I said, those just tapes and highlights. It doesn't do me justice to know watch him full game every game that I know some people does have watched both of these players as receivers and as uh uh as I'm sorry as DBs. They have watched these players from college and everything. I have not watched these players from college and stuck and saw every game they play. So people that have done that, they probably do have a better opinion of what they feel on both of the receivers or what they are saw. Like and man, listen, I'm not a prideful person. I'm all open to be known. If you feel like nah, listen, and you tell me more, I'll be like, all right, cool, I get it. But based on the tape and based on the highlights that I saw, they both seem very good to me, and I don't see that we would have went wrong in either or. Every we would have been good either or pick that we would have chose. It's just based on what Vic Fangio, what our defensive coordinator is going to dial up for this defense for Mitchell, and hopefully he could dial up something good for this defense. And but we only can wait for that season to see what he do. So hopefully he do well. And yeah, like I said, we only can see. So but I and then say like I'm good. I don't see nothing wrong. But let me know if you disagree or you agree what I say. And yo, don't be afraid to get your opinion and let me know if you feel like what you is something that I miss, or you feel like nah, this guy, he's this, he a bust, or whatever how you feel. Like, please don't hesitate to comment and let me know. But that's just it, man. Like I said, stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm gonna be talk on each player that we picked on based on the tapes and the highlights. Like I said, I've been wanting some time to watch more so I can have my facts right on these guys that we picked up. And tomorrow I'm definitely gonna speak on each and every cat that we picked up and more moves that we had made that based on if I like it, I disliked it. But please stay tuned. Do not hesitate to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel right there, please, so you can stay updated and you can participate. You'll be able to comment and put your opinions why we are doing these podcasts, we are doing these videos. You'll be able to comment and everything. You can't comment nowhere else. I cannot see your comments nowhere else if you is not watching it from YouTube. So please follow and subscribe to YouTube channel and like, subscribe, and comment, all that good stuff. But if you need to communicate and you from a different platform or whatever, and you want me to support you or link up or anything you wanted to communicate, once again, please, I would say follow my Twitter right there. Is not all that up. I don't got all that whatever. It's just based on communication preferences for you to talk to me. And if you want me to support you, you got your pie, you want to link up, you want to do anything, we anything, like just please hit me up on my Twitter right there, and we could get to talk. We could chat, whatever you want. And man, that's it, yo. So I appreciate all the viewers. I appreciate everybody that did. Stay tuned for tomorrow for more hype fan Eagle talk. And like I said, once before I leave, please follow the YouTube channel. Don't hesitate. This your boy Hype Fan Jerry. Thanks for tuning in for Hype Fan Eagles Bird Game. I'm out.